Absolute insanity. Quite the scene, I would say so. Who's your guess?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll narrow it down. I got a lifeline for you as well. Is it Warden? Is it Shoxy? Or is it Scream?
Scream?
Shoxy.
Oh my goodness, it is Shox. Unfortunately, you have taken the biggest L today. But I do have something for both of you, courtesy of Betway. I've got collectible pins, of course, right there. Congratulations, guys. Now, Cologne, I think we're almost ready to get into train, but before we do that, we're gonna be going to the desk where Alex and the boys are gonna try to make some sense of this big clan on Dust 2.
Yes, Big Clan do manage to steady the ship. It looked like it was spinning out of control after their first performance on map 1 Overpass, but Dust 2 does bring things back into a level stead in this best of 5.
Sounds like there's a foghorn for that ship.
Yeah, it does sound like it's actually in the Lanxess.
It is actually a Vuvuzela, I can see
Someone
it.
tweeted me saying, I don't know how to say the word, so I'm never going to say it again.
But you don't know how to say
Apparently I'm mispronouncing it. Vuvuzela?
I'm pretty sure that's right.
Well, screw you, Twitter guy.
Yeah, you got him.
I told you, didn't I? Anyway, statistically, we knew that NaVi had never won Dust 2. I just had a little dig. I mean, between, you know, since its induction to the map pool, they've played it 4 times and lost it every single time. Does this mean that we don't give any credit to Big, or they still managed to bring it home?
Well, no, you absolutely give credit to Big, because NaVi, despite not being very well versed on the map, they still have great individuals, and they were making some sick individual plays, like obviously the electronic 1v4 towards the end of the game. But you know, Big was able to come back time and time again. In some of the eco rounds that they won, it wasn't, you know, hitting some lucky shots and then just, pistols are overpowered. No, there was a thought process behind those rounds. There was good utility usage yet again. So Big definitely showed why they are the better team on Dust 2.
Chad, words out of your mouth before the microphone was there, talking about electronic and perhaps making a strong case for that MVP.
Yeah, he's showing up in spades, having some really big rounds, and obviously without winning that map, he did have that 1-on-4 situation over towards that B-bomb site. If he can continue this form, I think he's actually playing probably better than Simple at this point, having more impact throughout. We've only 2 maps deep, so there's still a lot of Counter-Strike to be played, but we really need to talk about Nex. The thing is, a lot of people here maybe weren't watching Counter-Strike back when he was in the Mouse Sports days with God B, and this is the thing, Nex was meant to be the coming home of German Counter-Strike. He was meant to be the guy leading and just fragging out huge. It never eventuated. They'd always make it to stages and he would just fall flat. He's had a big growth in the last 3 years to step up and drop 30 kills against a NaVi in front of a crowd like this.
125 to ADR.
Big game.
9 multi-kill rounds. Like, this seems to be his forte, is taking at least 2 with him every single time.
And the ace on that, you know,
that's huge.
Force buy where they had only 1 save gun, gets 1 with the CZ, and then everyone else with the M4. That kind of turned the tide of the game towards their favor.
Yeah, it was really impressive.
There were some potato decisions.
Talk to me.
By NaVi, just a couple. There's some
you
fundamental things on Dust 2 that, like, when they came back into the pool and teams were getting their footing back on it, and I'm like, guys, this is very basic. Dust 2's been out forever now. When you lose certain parts of the map, you need to react in certain ways. And I thought NaVi would know how to do that. But these are the players who I credit as, you know, being gods of the game. Even Simple's making poor decisions when territory has been taken away.
An interesting correlation that I've managed to find just by digging through HLTV is simply that their conversion, NaVi's conversion when conceding the first death was abysmally low. Of course, I mean, when you're losing the map, but still 15% from NaVi. And if you take a look at opening kills, 0-3 for Zeus, 0-3 for Edward. This is the bad one, 3-7 to Simple. He died 7 times as the opening frag. I mean, that's just contrary to what you're looking for as NaVi.
Yeah, I think it also comes from, you know, them not being very well practiced on the map, so he feels like he needs to try and make more individual plays, and you'll see it actually on a couple of rounds that we picked out here. One is what Chad was talking about early on. It was actually the first gun round really of the game. And what's interesting there is some of the most basic things about Dust 2 really are, if you lose long control, you have to go try and take cat. If you lose both cat and long, that's where you really struggle. You can't try to hold the side. You really have to fall back. So you will see it on the minimap very early on in that round. Big towards long, they get map control. Zeus was there, he falls back. They still have Simple on catwalk, so that at least good for them. They still have that control, and they can try and isolate that area of the map. But as time on the round clears, you will see that Big has actually rotated, and now this is ideal for them. They have that split, and I think in this situation, Simple has nothing to do in the side, because that smoke is not going to stop Big to push through. And you will see what happens. They're a bit in limbo. They were expecting a mid to B. That's why they were in 2-1-2 setup. But still, you need to be able to adapt mid-round. And this is where they should have just fallen back, conceded the bomb side, and tried to play for the retake or maybe even outright save. You can see the great timing from big players. They get rid of Simple and Zeus, and that's round over. And that gave you a lot of fear for NaVi early on, that they were struggling in that sort of a situation.
Something to add, Chad?
Yeah, there's lots of protocols that you can have in place there. As soon as you do lose Cat and you do lose Long, like Zeus lost that very early. He should have definitely gone to help Simple. They could have at least retained that part of the map or traded out efficiently. Or the other option is just drop into CT spawn and play the post plant. You want to take mid control back in that scenario. You flash over, you push out, you take control of that, and then you can flank them, give them the bomb site and play the retake.
But fear not, Alex.
Okay.
They maybe not understand the map very much, but they have guys like Electronic. He's going to win you a 1v4. But I always say it's not about losing that 4v1. It's about not losing the game because of one round. And how does Big bounce back after that 4v1 loss? You can see that round. Obviously, it's not going to be ideal for Big. When you look at their utility, their buy, they have a double op. I think that's something that NaVi would not expect. So you can see them deciding to buy at the very end of the freeze time. It was actually super close, a bit late to come out of spawn. And what do we see early on? We see NaVi being able to come out long. We see this very interesting setup from Smuja and Tizian. And also you can see it from their POV. It's going to look really interesting. Keep an eye out for Tabzen, who's watching out long with one op, and Smuja and Tizian, as you can see in the minimap, they're right next to each other. And what's interesting here, they're playing passive, they're trying to get those picks, but there's a plan behind this. There is a setup. Let's try to pressure B, pressure Catwalk, and have hope that Tabzen can contain long by himself. And what happens? Simple feels forced to try and make a play. He picks into Tabzen, he gets an easy kill, and after that you are going to see just Smuja and Tizian again with that aggressive pick. Easy 5v3 situation, and after that they just cleared the round properly and bounced back immediately. A lot of teams would have crumbled after that 4v1 loss.
Yes, and that now bounces them into Train. I want to get a couple of words out for this third map. Now, of course, statistically much stronger for both, so I was going to say for both sides, more for NaVi than it is Big. Is this where we return to normality, Chad, in your expectations?
I don't know. Yesterday was such a close game against FaZe, right? There was a lot of clutches, a lot of force buy rounds that happened there, which could have swung the tide either way. And like Dust 2, Big showed that they have a lot of diversity on their CT side on how they want to broach different situations to bolster the defense. They have a lot of plays, they have a lot of practiced moves, and that's something which can be quite scary because the way NaVi plays is a lot looser. You saw their Train CT side earlier in the tournament, going very close pop, going very close into T-mid, and then the later stages putting aggression on Ivy. If that's something that can be shut down and identified by Big on their T side early, this is where it gets very difficult for NaVi, unable to make any plays.
This same roster of Big have conceded big losses to poor teams on this map 2 months ago, Janko. They've turned it around.
Yeah, this is where the series get really difficult for them because all the maps that are remaining, NaVi knows what to do on them, and they're really, really strong. And I feel like actually Train is a must-win for Big. When you look at the series, can you see them win both Inferno and Nuke? I think that's unlikely. So I think if anything, Big need to focus on Train and Inferno as 2 maps to close this series out.
It all comes down to that then for Big. I mean, the Inferno nuke just seems too much to handle, Chad.
Yeah, look, I think that's probably a fair statement. Train, I think we need to see Simple come alive, though, because he can be such a linchpin. They do need to bolster that inner defense. They got to make sure that Zeus isn't going to be too isolated there. And he is one of the men who rotates over along with Flamey.
You can hear the crowd. They know exactly what that means. We are going back into the fray. Big versus NaVi. Our analysts suggest that if they want the series, if they want the trophy, they have to win Train. Let's see if they're on track. Back with your casters.
Train and then Inferno. But we start out here. Again, yesterday they were triumphant on this map in their incredible fashion. It's going to be immediately toward the outer yard that NaVi takes pose and sends Electronic with a smoke to allow Edward on entry. Tapson's gone back up toward the E-box. Try and shut it down with the USB. Next instead finds Simple, but still he's got to find a shot before he's forced to back off. Gobby's going to protect him. 2 over the shoulder. Finally, Edward gets position and overwhelms them, so not done yet.
Wow, Edward getting it done, but it looks like Smuja and Tizian will take care of Zeus. Edward will now need the ace to finish this one off. 3 kills in front of him, but the bomb down by main entrance. The CTs just need to stick together and give him multiple targets. Fantastic stuff from Next, kick things off, a lovely shot. And it really did set his teammates up at that point. Got B with 2 crucial frags towards the main entrance. Nothing too technical there from NaVi, just a quick main push. 1 smoke and a flashbang going over, but Next looks incredibly comfortable playing in front of the smoke and the flash. And No bomb planted again for NaVi. They'll be forcing in the second round from what I can see so far. Deagles and 1 scout. They only have 2 flashbangs though. It's very difficult to make these rounds work for you on a map like Train. You have no smokes to get a point of access to even push CTs back. tabseN playing by the server. Smoke down, of course. He has got the MP7, a weapon we're seeing a lot more of at this particular tournament since its price reduction. Bomb down in T-spawn. NaVi at this point just waiting for initial utility to go down and then try and challenge these choke points for an opening.
Scout nearly finds an angle, but instead Simple takes damage, forced back onto 19.
Just a note, it's Edward that drops the Scout for Simple, so he can get the armor as well. Allows him to be a lot stronger challenge towards main entrance, where he'll be very vulnerable to grenades. And Tizian now doesn't have to commit to this frag. He knows that they're in the brown halls, but holding a decent angle. MP7 looks best at close range. Just going to be getting back on the site. He has got backup from God B. He's got the rifle towards the backtracks now.
Edward couldn't quite land the deagle shot. Will try his best again. So very kind of Edward to support Simple's endeavor. Holds crossfire set, bottom of the ramp. Tizian, sprayed all his ammunition, had to go to the pistol, wrong time to do so, gets taken down by Zeus, but thankfully Smooya's got an angle that responds. Still though, they get close to the site, low HP, Goppy should have an easy time denying the plants, and greeting Flamey inside of the smoke. He'll go for a third kill, as Simple's already low, and makes do on it. Good play from Goppy, 2-0 for Big.
No bomb planted once again, Big. Managed to keep 3 players alive. It's going to be the full eco now for NaVi, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. How do you even get towards the inside bomb site with a couple of flashbangs and a scout? It's not really going to happen for them. And they lose 2 kills, but Big looking very comfortable and calm, even jovial. As you can see, Smooya having a great time now on the stage, and why not? Nothing to lose, really. No one expected them to make it to the playoffs, other than the grand final. They've gone above and beyond expectations. If they win this, that'll be absolutely incredible for them. Locks 1 deagle, no armor, and a similar situation. Going towards inside, they've got a smoke this time. And 1 flashbang, presumably smoke down the lower ramp, flash over, try and trade out a frag and get that bomb planted.
Crossfire flash to go mid-sight. Covers off next. Tizian's got the opener. Goppy's already struck before the utility, and he's got 2 more. Looking very, very solid, Goppy in the support role at B, as he has been in the last 2 rounds. Rotating over, he assists next. If I'm not mistaken, that he should lead the way with 8 kills now. 3-0 for Big, but we get guns for NaVi and AWP based on that early buy for Simple.
Indeed. Remember, it was FaZe that picked Train against Big yesterday, and we couldn't really work it out. Why would you pick a map that seems to suit the play style of Big down to a T? You can't really challenge for kills on the CT side. There's lots of execution, lots of fakes available. You'd feel like you would avoid this. I kind of feel like Big are taking this map. The way NaVi have been playing, and they've looked sloppy. Their anti-eco situation is getting out of hand, and this is a play we saw a lot of. Pushing that lower ramp, they were bullying FaZe with that. And they do the same here. It's a bonus round. They've still got the MP7s, the FAMASs, and they go for an early pick, considering that's the kind of weaponry they have to deal with. And now they've got the opening kill, taking down Edward. 5-on-4.
Electronic just barely missed an opportunity to find tabseN retreating. MP7 only for tabseN, but an AK to go against him. And Electronic checking the corner should quickly find a headshot with good crosshair placement. Does that and follows it to find Smooya. That'll be the only response. Again, a bit of a bonus round. Not the end of the world if they lose this. Still, though, they have it in a 3 versus 3. Electronic on 1. Means that SMG, I say that, the only one remaining, Goppy on the MP9, has a chance.
3-on-3. Remember, like I said, bonus round for Big. If they get this, that's going to mean they're so set up financially, even if they lose the round, as long as it's close, as long as they bring it down to maybe a 1 versus 1, they still have a full buy next round. NaVi probably won't. Zeus now makes his way out of Pop Dog. There's no real presence towards our side, just got B. At the backtracks there, watching the bomb train. 20 seconds now. Somehow does a lot of damage with the Deagle. Next will finish things off, and Electronic has 1 HP here.
Simple runs down to try and get the bomb planted. Goppi's the one who can swing out to spot it. Electronic, good effort, but again, he was so low, nothing he could really do to take the fights, and despite getting the bomb planted, a defuse comes in immediately after. Now that does give a little bit more money to NaVi, which will now have the 4th round bonus plus that plant, so watch for the force.
Brilliant stuff from Big. Now they get rid of those SMGs, man. They steal away those AK-47s. It's God B playing excellently here on Train. He's got 11 kills now. And that's a huge round for them to pick up. 4-0. They've got tons of money. They've now got AK-47s upgrading from their SMGs. And NaVi are not looking their best. They're not the high-flying favorites anymore. This is them with their backs to the wall. They do get the bomb down, though, however. In the 4th stage loss bonus, it seems like they will still buy with it, but they're going to be limited on the utility, and that has been a massive issue for them so far in this particular half. They will call for a timeout, but I think they missed the mark. They went for the timeout right at the end of that freeze time, and they're not going to get it. They were too late.
Ooh, that's frustrating. Zeus better hope he can make his point quite clear as quickly as he dares, well, because they're getting aggressive. Smooya's already got the op toward the hitch.
Edward, everyone else pretty much fully invested. Edward still has 3K. He just bought a Deagle, no armor. So it's very, very mishmash in terms of the synergy of the buy. Not everyone's completely on the same page.
Oh, Electronic. Sneaky. In behind, nearly. Spray transfers it over to find Gobby. It will still do enough damage to allow Flamey the kill, but Smooya makes amends on the AWP. Still a man down. Now back off to Old Bomb. That gives him coverage. Toward Ivy, where Zeus waits as Edward tries to get in position. Tizian will wrap all the way around the outback. Moses calls it toward that position. Missed shot from Zeus. And it's back to a 2 versus 2. Make that one better. Simple, disposed of. No bomb plant as of yet for Edward. He has time to commit to it. Knows that they're removed from the picture, or at least directly close to him, and therefore puts it down, backs away. Still a chance the AK can pull it off. But there is kits for both. Incendiary, Molotov, and a flash. Excuse me, and a smoke, rather than the Molotov. So yes, they can get that on top of it. Try and hold for the defuse. Edward makes contact. Gets the better in the exchange, takes Tizzy into 42, but he stays alive. That's the important part, because now they have the information as to where he is. They can play it as a team. Smooya with the op, now the only one left. Good find from Edward on the second approach. Gets above as well, fakes off of it. Smooya knows it. He's on the bomb, smoke is too. Does Edward realize it? Goes out, he's got a wrong, oh, just barely finds the headshot.
Difficult buy there. Frustrating start with the timeout not being called, but NaVi have Electronic, who makes his way out towards the outside bomb site, opens things up with 2 kills, but certainly wasn't the clean finish they were looking for. Edward in the 2 versus 1, the smoke on the bomb as well. Smooya with the AWP, lost track of it, went for the full defuse and was about a second away from getting it. Edward does win the round and recover the AWP, but like we said, there is absolutely bucket loads of cash for Big. They can go for the double AWP setup here, and that's when they looked their absolute scariest against FaZe yesterday. A chance to reset NaVi, only 1 player surviving the previous round. Makes things very expensive indeed. Round 6 coming up, 4-1 overall. It's a very CT-sided map, so great start for Big. Tizian with the final purchase there. Again, it's round number 6, and Simple has got the AWP now.
Smooya a little bit closer this time with the AWP, rather than playing back toward the hitch. Similar angle, but very different in that it gets him forward of the utility, which is now displayed by bringing up the map. Toward the brown holes, it's Simple. Still looking to find where Tizian has gone. Patience for Tizian. Doesn't want to overextend on it, rightfully so, with it being guarded. Clearly, utility wins that battle either direction. Tizian flash himself in, but can't be flashed from a teammate. Smooya were to get a little bit closer. Smoke down Molotov as well. So Zeus knows he's locked anyone to the left completely out of it. They can't push back through it until that Molotov is gone. It is now flash in. They want to push. Gob knows they're there. Lets them go. He's going to use the smoke. Oh, undetectable. Delectable. Takes down Zeus immediately. Electronic gets found by Gabi immediately after. Good swing, good read. He knew his second one was gone somewhere. He let them go and played so invasively inside of that smoke that he read it like a book, but now it's Flamey to try and pull back to the bomb. Taps in up close, simple to hold it. He's left in a 1 versus 4, but a first kill was gifted to him based on the position. Anything beyond that, he's got to run into the man who's captaining this whole ship, Gabi, with another 3 kills. Is he a coach or a cheerleader?
He's getting out the front of the stage and getting everyone hyped up. Got to respect him. And it will be 5-1 and a huge reset.
If we get a timeout because the coach's headset isn't working, it's because he's unplugged the cable running around the front of the stage.
That's a very good point. Yeah, he would have to do that. Well, there you go. It will be round number 7 coming in, and that is the complete reset. So NaVi only get $1,400 into this round. Simple has purchased up the Scouts. Bigger looking so comfortable here on train. Their CT sides have been pretty epic. This shouldn't be any different. Edward and Flamey holding towards inside, but my goodness, that's a hell of a shot. That gives up an AWP. Okay, now looking a little bit more interesting. They have an AWP, Scout, and 3 pistols.
I will confirm the head admin, Mihai, was just on stage, likely having a word with Legia. One of 2 reasons, if not the cable, but also it probably is against the spirit of the rules to go forward of the line of sight from the players, because if he happens to see a monitor while he's out there, one of his screens for the stage, or anything of that nature, it would be a problem. Great to see the emotion, don't get me wrong. Awesome performance from Big throughout, but not surprised that that word was whispered in his ear. Flamey, Scout goes back around and can't find the shot this time.
Have you ever seen anything like that before, though? Actually running out on the stage.
This stage is full of performances. I think we had Jordan Gilbert on here topless last year.
Yeah, I think it might have been the year before. I'm not sure, but yes, that has happened. And there's Gob getting it done with the silence M4, but this is still looking uncomfortable. But Tapson starts to stabilize things here. 3-on-3 once again with the AWP still in hands of Simple, but look at the time. 15 seconds here, nowhere near the bomb site. Tapson knows it. He can just find one of these kills. That should be enough. Bomb going to get near to the side now, but not for long. Flamey taken down, and Simple will find the kill. Is that time to plant? Yeah, they might have it. They might have it.
Just barely.
It's going to go down. Tizian was hoping they didn't have time to get the bomb planted, but there it is. 2 versus 1 now for him.
Do they know? I don't think they know Tizian's coming from Pop Dog. Yeah, they must, because Electronic was sitting right behind Simple, staring at only that doorway when they desperately held that plant. Now they certainly know where he is, as Simple was trying to slide out with the AWP, but damage onto him and getting closer to the same position. It's a double position for them as Simple reads it. Knew that Tizian was wrapping around and never even spotted Electronic in the corner. Another round for NaVi, at least this time. Keep a few alive, and they avoid, although going 1-1-1, they avoid potential reset, can bring guns back out. They wear down the economy on the other side.
Just to note while we're here, Gob, after 7 rounds of play, has 16 kills and 2 deaths. Pretty remarkable numbers for the old boy. The Scouts in the hands of Smooya this time. That was the AWP given up and the eco going in favor of NaVi. They've lost a lot of ecos, or lost 2 ecos today, and it's nice for them to pick one up. 5-2, it's a lot of work to do, but it's going to be a bit of a lifeline here, but considering they've completely broken the money down for the big side.
So Edward already down, Pop Dog will hold. Smooya so far with the Scout unable to find anyone. Good find from Flamey immediately as the AK used to good effect. Will open up the B site next so far back. There won't be any contest about a bomb plant. Tapson's going to try and rotate as he was pushed up Ivy all the way around behind him in hopes that he'll get a few exit kills. Maybe they carry some guns over. There's not really much else to be gained. Round's too far gone. The rest are on default.
Well, that eco victory is certainly taking the wind out of the German sails. I'll see the Scouts being saved by the looks of things. This round is completely out of reach now for the big side. Tapson might get a chance at a kill here. Gets the dink on Zeus, but nice shot by him for the AK. And we're going to see whether Smooya can hold on to it. In terms of their money, they get $1,900 next round. Still don't really have enough to buy. They'll be hovering just over 3K per player. What's going on here? Nice try, Cole.
Yeah, I was going to say no time. Just wanted to be slightly entertaining. We haven't seen one in a very long time, to be fair. And then Ninja in that full capacity. We've seen lots of smoke diffuses, but those, to be clear, are also not officially Ninjas. The only time I'll say it's a smoke diffuse is a Ninja is if, as soon as the bomb went down, somehow there's a guy in a smoke beside it who gets on it, and it's like 5 seconds after it's planted, it's diffused. That's pretty Ninja. So 5-3 guns again for NaVi once more, just as they were on Dust 2. Big are very limited on the CT economy. They won a 4-spy to get them back into it on that map. This time it's going to take similar fate. Now, still have the lead when they get money back, though, so a bit of room to work with. Tabson could find an electronic, but all for naught, as Edward is easily able to take back the lead, and Zeus, it's Tabson.
Round 2. Actually doing quite well here. Adjusted Eagles. One player makes his way towards inside. That's Edward. He'll confirm the bomb side is completely clear. Simple. Eradicates next, and now Tizian. 3 versus 1, but he's on the other side of the map. He has, however, got an AK-47. The bomb not yet planted. Zeus is actually exploring towards that area. This could be another kill for Tizian. Not quite. Without the arm, you can see what we call aim punch come into effect. As soon as you get touched by any of the bullets, crossover will fly up, and it makes things very difficult in those sort of duels. Zeus, MVP of the round. Round 10. And we'll see Big start to slip away from the lead now. They were 5-1 up ever since they lost to those pistols, or the scout maybe. Oh my goodness, that is incredibly fast from Simple. What a flick that is. Fist bump's coming out.
Rubber wrists.
Indeed, Smooya with the AWP. They've got no kits, however. And is there a change of pace? Doesn't look like it. Looks quite standard from both sides right now. Default from NaVi. No real aggression from the CTs. They did try that inside push once.
Edward sees the nade bouncing. Knows that someone was close enough with the smoke down. He won't be able to spot it, so gives up the thought. He's going to rotate all the way back through CT. Tizian's going to back off, being the only one in B at the exact moment that it looks encouraging that the bomb is going to head that direction from NaVi's perspective. Ball in the hands of Edward. Simple. AWP will hold the bottom of the ramp. Smoke in the sidewalk, let him get down there with no one to spawn. Again, there's not much contest directly in the site. Next, rotating back around, Big realizing that, oh, they have actually got a lead after we left. We'll have to wait for the retake. Tizian has good position. Electronic knows he's there. Better find. Wins the duel over the edge. Smoke at high means that Zeus will get away. And Smooya has to pull back this shot immediately to make it level, to give any chance to the retake. I think they're already reconsidering it. Tizian, though, does get Simple. Smooya's going to rotate back in. 2 men toward the ramp. And already, unfortunately, with no kits, they have to consider getting out with the AWP. They want to do as much damage as they can, but it's going to go 5-5. NaVi does just enough.
Lovely stuff there from NaVi. Nothing too technical there, but the smoke down the lower ramp. Simple hitting the shots required there too for him in that particular round. The retake is Tizian. Fair play to him. He gets all 3 kills that Big found, but wasn't quite enough, I'm afraid. He'll save the AK-47, and maybe even better news, Smooya has managed to save the AWP. The Smooya has looked relatively contained on this particular map. Simple starting to get into the swing of things now. He's on 9 and 7. Smooya will have 4 kills and 5 deaths, so not looking as good as he did yesterday on train. It's around 11 here. They're all still going to be there. It's not going to be the 4-spy from Big, just CZs and those saved weapons from before, the AK and the AWP.
Flamey already in behind the train rather than back in the safety at the confines of the room that is A main. But he goes back off it, not spotting anyone running toward Pop Dog or getting aggressive toward E-Box, as is the intention by that position. Good nade. Flamey tagged down to 44 immediately. Was by Gabi, who was running up to get aggressive. CZ for him. Expecting flashes. Problem with his position is that no one's really watching toward A main to make sure that he's completely safe. He wants to play outside of Pop Dog rather than safely in it because he thinks there's more danger in a flash coming down or two players dropping and overwhelming him, whereas right now at least he can control the peak. We haven't seen, just to note as well, from not just this game, but a lot of teams lately, no one's really been throwing that bounce Molotov off the window to clear out the backside of Pop Dog as much.
Yeah, that's true. Seems like it's gone out of fashion somewhat, but 45 seconds remaining here. Still is a chance of big. They have 3 pistols, sure, but a Smooya Orb can come online at any second. Outside execution will be deployed here by the NaVi squad. Smooya and Gobby playing in front of them, though. Gobby specifically inside the Pop Dog room with the perfect weapon for this. CZ flashbang comes through. Does he get anything done? I think he gets at least 1 kill here. There it is. And Smooya has got a shooting gallery. He's found 2 kills so far. Simple bets him once more, but Tabson still fighting tooth and nail at the front line. Next will pull one back, and they've actually got the lead here, Matt. 2 versus 1 as Simple has a perfect flash, but he catches himself. And Next can't believe his luck. He comes out of the flash, and they've won the round. Smooya did exactly what he had to there, knowing an execution was very likely. Played the E-box. Gobby will soften them up and patrol towards the Pop Dog room. He gets the first kill at main entrance, finds a second as his teammates started to flank from the inside bomb site. Flamey, boom. Had to eat that one.
Big, similar to how they did it on Dust 2, pull back. Weapons in their hands. They started with just pistols, and they continue on in the lead by 1 round only. Simple takes a bit of damage from a nade thrown out of Ivy. He knows they're up toward the server, but can't spot them in behind. Flash out. Again, he's just overstepped the mark. Flashed himself last time. This time, Zeus flashes him, but more to Simple's problem as he was 1 step too far.
Another default round here. AWP for Simple.
Smoke timing did not favor Godby's position at all. Caught out in A main, first kill goes the way of NaVi.
Absolutely so. What's the reaction though? The CTs want to probe for an inside push. Smooya's there with Tizian, could flash him over the brown halls and see whether they can take down Edward. As he starts to ascertain what's going on that side of the map. Smooya, there it is. Here's the reaction and a great shot. It works out for them. Edward drops and it goes back to the 4-on-4.
Back to the outer site. Tabson still trying to hold him off. Next is forward of the smoke that's that sandwich. If he wanted the flash, he would be distracted. He's still looking that direction. He's got to be careful because Electronic is still working in from Ivy. Advantage goes the way of Big by Next getting a kill, but now they know exactly where he is toward Quad. Awkward exchange. Goes Tabson, but now it's all on Simple. 2 kills for him. He'll get the bomb toward Pop Dog, and he's got time just barely to run it to B.
Yeah, and that's exactly where he needs to go. Look at the positioning of the CTs right now, both hovering on the Ivy area. Tabson making his way towards T spawn. Tizian holds Ivy. Simple will get the bomb down, and this is his absolute bread and butter. 2 versus 1 clutch. He's got the AWP, some time to reposition. But will he anticipate the flank from behind? Tabson will completely destroy him there. AK to the back of the head. He didn't account for players coming from the lower ramp. They win the round. It's going to be 7-5 now. Tabson with 2 kills in the
Good
round.
spirits. Just hopes everyone has fun.
I hope both teams have fun. Is that what it said? That's quite nice. Me too. I'm sure Big are having a lot of fun. Being able to stay competitive. They've already got a map under their belt. Taking down some of the biggest names of CSGO on their way here. I'm sure they've enjoyed every single moment of it. Simple. Opening things up, but couldn't close them down. Double orb setup once again for the German squad and NaVi. They do have enough to buy. I think a tactical timeout is required, and indeed it will be used here. 2 of them left. 7-5. They had such a difficult start into this map. They were 5-1 down. Then got a spree of 4 rounds in a row, but Big have stabilized now. After that great half-by victory of the AWP. Big now with 2 in a row, looking to win the half. Is there an AWP available for NaVi? It doesn't look like it. They're going to have 4 AKs, and Electronic will be left on the CZ. Just that age-old question with this squad. He's supposed to be one of your key fraggers in great form right now. You want to be giving him the AK-47 instead of potentially Edward or Zeus, but each to their own. And will be Electronic to work towards Ivy. And 3 players for NaVi to head towards the brown halls and look for maybe some more CT aggression that's been coming in as they use the flashbangs at the very start to push that back.
The second op seems to be more formidable and more common so far in this game because the economy has pulled back. Tapson was right in his positioning, but had no idea. Marginal was the nade. Execution on 2A. Pop dog drop. Successful. Next has to play backside of the box. Good flash. Should be a kill. At least one. He's got to be worried about aim aim, but he gets the kill in time. Not fast enough to get to Electronic. I thought there was a chance he would get his aim reset. He certainly was anticipating it correctly, but bomb was dropped temporarily. With 56 seconds, they've recovered it already. They may even get the plant because Tizian's boost comes up a little bit late, and he sprays far side. That gave his position up to Electronic. Doesn't matter because Tapson already found the kill back onto Simple. Electronics left alone. Good find. Knew that there had to be a second because Smoothie was the one to put him above. Now he's just got it down to a one-on-one. 3 kills already for Electronic. 2 for Tapson, who comes out better in the round. It's Tapson. Good shoulder bait. And a great shot to follow.
That's fantastic by Tapson. 3 kills in the round. What a tournament he's having. It was next to get in the first couple of kills there. That nice position by the Pop Dog. He played just behind the boxes. It means the terrorists want to commit to your frag on you. They have to swing wider. Next got 2 from that position. You can also watch towards A main. Round 14 coming through, and it's now 3 rounds in a row for Big. Money still on the perfect state for NaVi, but there's the final kill from Tapson. That's a high pressure moment. Close range AWP pick is not easy. You see Simple getting very frustrated with this. A lot of emotions here. As Electronic tries to get the first frag, actually Smoothie will be into the punch. He best Simple once again. And there we have it, another 5 versus 4. It's from the upper ramp angle once again.
Tapson takes out Zeus. 3 AKs left to work with and not a lot of map control. They at least get down Pop Dog, but they've still got to go through the doorway. A doorway that is wide open, inviting. In fact, Tapson's not going to do anything with that AWP, is he? He's moved off the angle for now.
Time will tell. 5 on 3. This is a full investment from NaVi. AK's available, but only 2 smokes remain. Flamey will have to wait if he's going to try and get a frag from the Pop Dog area. CT still with 1 smoke, make it 2. Smooya looking towards that upper round. That's exactly where the bomb is. Electronic just waiting for an outside fake, from what I'd imagine. So Edward smokes towards the green train. He's trying to force a rotation. While his teammate Electronic, that will do quite nicely. He takes down Nex. And now the bomb getting ready to go in up. It's going to be facing out of the upper ramp right now. Finds the kill. Tizian can't believe it. Smoothie has left him, and the bomb will be planted. Things are equalized from the 5 on 3 to now 3 on 3.
All due to patience from NaVi. Dissect the defense, isolate them. And now with the bomb down, a chance to set up in the post plant as well. Just to note, no Molotovs. Saw yesterday. To what good effect Big were able to use those. Awkwardly almost. Smoke goes onto it, but this may actually favor Electronic if they think, okay, he's going to move out of it. I was going to say, if they think they can get toward a defuse or be cheeky inside of that, he was already holding the angle. In fact, going aggressive. He's able to find not only Smoothie, but turn around and find Gopi as well.
What a recovery from NaVi. They lost the first 2 picks there, but hook, line, and sinker, that fake is absolutely spot on. Edward had to find at least 1 kill there. The smoke was to buy him a bit of space. He comes out, completely rails Nex towards the E-box, and then at that point Electronic helps himself towards the inside bomb site. That was designed to remove Smooya from the equation of the inner bomb site, and my God, did it ever work. Final round of the first half here, Matt, and Big have nothing but pistols. They've won plenty of these sort of rounds though today. NaVi have not looked their best.
Tizian spotted. Deep Molotov, he'll back off. Watching behind him, expecting flashes. He knows they've dropped down, they spot him, pushing back in. So they're spraying toward him. Edward rather jarringly takes him down when he repeaks. So too Simple finds Smooya as he tried to flank it out. Scout shot lands. Fortunately, next Burns alive for trying. 8-7 for the third straight map. It's looking like our halftime scoreline. Again, it'll be Big that has the lead, as they did do on Dust 2. Remember, they were one back on Overpass. Maybe there's something in that, but it's going to be NaVi switching over to the CT side of Train. Got B, but Simple gets the knife. He's been looking for one for a while. We saw him on the first map, even waiting for a chance to do so. Pulls it off, and it's 8-7 indeed.
Absolutely is. Big. It's not the best half they could have got, but another 8-7 scoreline definitely keeps them in it. Remember, this is actually NaVi's pick. We'll see what the second half has in store. Considering NaVi on the T side, 7 rounds, they'll be happy with that. That's absolutely fine, enough to work with, absolutely. But they have been a little bit lackluster in the pistol rounds in the last couple of maps. We'll see if they can recover from that as they go onto the CT side now. Game's on a knife edge. They give a slight advantage towards NaVi, considering they swap over to the CT sides. Now we're going to have 2 smokes and a few flashbangs to work with. Tabson is going to have a P250 armor combo. We talked about that on Dust 2. Gives him extra range and suggests they go towards inside because he wants to get down that lower ramp and start challenging towards the connector while his teammates make their way through. That's where they'll head for now.
Zeus gets aggressive toward the stairs. He's going to have company first. CZ on a pistol round.
Oof. Because he knows he'll be in this position, close range.
Armorless.
I think it's clear. Oh, they didn't check it properly. They sent 2 players away.
Good news is Simple's close enough by. If they all commit, Zeus is able to pull them in. Carrot stick. Simple would be able to jump up behind them. Boost for Tizian. Smoothie, rather. Tabson, one of them. Tabson goes up the spot towards the connector. Does see one. P250. Does he get the shot off? Tries to. Can't hit Edward in the head from that range. Tabson takes a little bit of damage in return. Simple's still unwilling to move. Hasn't had his invite yet. They need to be committed. They need to be fully fixed upon the B site for him to have any chance of making that work. And the fact that they pushed the CT so far back as well means it's likely that one player will be expecting it turned around to watch.
Here comes the inside play. Smooya, the only player towards the upper ramp. Remember, Tabson, as we said, given the PD50 to find his long-range duels while the bomb gets planted. Edward and Zeus are there. It's that CZ for Zeus. Can he get any damage done with it? I don't think he will. He will be dropped to that point. Bomb to be planted. And this is looking perfect from Big. They're pushing down towards that connector, but Simple is still alive and kicking. You know what that means. Headshots are coming, but this time he'll be the one receiving it. Electronic 3 versus 1, and it looks like he might be done because they've got him contained in towards the connector itself.
Good find on Nex, down to a 1 versus 2. Bomb's planted. He hasn't picked up a kit as of yet. I don't think there was one. Zeus said the CZ rather than the kit would to go along with the smoke, so he might be on his own in this situation. So much as time is concerned, as Tabson tries to climb up the ladder, he has been tagged once, but Electronic's going to back it off. He just wants to keep his armor at this point in time. 8-7 turns to 9. Big taking advantage early on the T side.
Pretty much exactly as we described it at the start. Default at the very beginning. Wait for that CT aggression, see if there's any different plays being presented. Once you confirm they're in a default formation, get ready to go inside. Smoke down, flash over. Try and isolate the anchor of the bomb site. And once you've done that, you've got a couple of smokes down. They're nice and deep. You can actually get towards the connector with the flashbangs. And at that point, Glock versus USP, and you're right in their faces. The Glock actually will come out on top. Smooya, that's a tremendous shot from him. And Simple couldn't do anything about it. Another pistol round in favor of Big here. If you are just joining us, it's the grand final here at ESL One Cologne 2018. And a best-of-5 final, and currently split right down the middle, 1 map apiece. This is the third. It's NaVi's pick, but Big are no strangers to this map. We saw them beat FaZe here yesterday. And that was also FaZe's pick. So people are...
Well, and you touched on that yesterday as well, because you mentioned that FaZe, peculiarly enough, had picked a tactical map against God B. It's not really something you would expect to catch him off on.
It's not so much the fact it's a technical map, it's just the fact there's no options to get into aim duels on the CT side. You just have to wait for them to commit, and they're such a slow team that focuses on fakes and utility usage. It seems like it's a perfect environment for a team like Big. I would stay away from this if I had the option. I wouldn't pick it ever. And it will be Simple now to be challenged. Another pistol goes away from them. They are going to be force buying here in the second round, of course. Simple dropped the scout by Flamey this time. So he gets some armor to go with his sniper.
5-7, just to note. For electronics, so we see another one. Tizian. Oh, takes damage trying to get that Molotov in. Scout shot from Simple lands, puts him on a 3-7. Meanwhile, Babs in the sight gives more room for the take. Godby, smoke off left, cross side smoke with Tapson. That's right, and then they go. Smooya's in. Good find. Immediately dispatches Flamey. Still holding off. Godby to find Zeus. Remember as well, he was tagged. Tizian's on 23. They'll still try and get back around. Electronic has found one to make it slightly more awkward. As Tizian and Tapson, Godby as well, all low, but have this down to a 4 versus 2 with bomb planted. Tapson has also snuck up and gotten away from them. As Simple goes looking, Nex is able to strike, and another round. This will now be 10 for Big.
4-on-2, Edward and Electronic can't do anything about this whatsoever. Nice work by Big. They took a lot of damage, as you can see, but only gave away 1 kill. Fantastic stuff. Instant execution, absolutely perfect. They're left with no utility. They'll make sure they eradicate every single possibility in terms of CT positioning. Might be 1 more kill here for Edward. We'll see. He's got players going towards him. No chance. Next was taken down. Nice stuff from him. 2 kills in a round. Electronic will survive on 1 point of health. 2-0 as Big negates the force buy of NaVi. Has to be the full eco now. So that is both pistols in favor of Big. They managed to get a 4-0 start on the CT side. That was fantastic before dropping to the force buy of NaVi. So now they've got pretty much full control of this situation. There's about a 5% chance NaVi can win this round. They've got PT50s, 1 PT50 and a 5-7, no armor. Electronic did buy a kit though. Oh, he must have survived, didn't he?
Yeah,
That's right.
he absolutely did. Saved over the armor from the first 2 rounds, in fact. And Electronic is going to make good with his pistol, so too is Edward. Sobering moment within the crowd as they realize, hang on, this round is a bit of a contest all of a sudden. 3 versus 3. Godby at least gets a kill back in return. 3 AKs versus an AK picked up.
Yeah, well,
as well as an MP7.
This is looking a lot more possible now.
Yes, it is. At that range with the AK, it certainly is. They have to commit to that bomb as well, which means they push down the ramp. That exposes Godby's feet first. Tizian has a Molotov and a smoke, but no bomb to work with, and he's going to get overrun. Electronic saving everything, including the armor, was able to get overrun at the start of the round to get the gun that ends up getting 3 kills.
I'm not sure why they wouldn't use the utility they had. They still had smokes and Molotovs and flashes, and they decided to run down the lower ramp with absolutely nothing. That was a pretty horrendous call. They could have just slowed it right down. 3-on-3, they still don't have armor. You can still play it like a normal round. You don't have to run into a bomb site and hope for the best. As Big throw it away. It will be NaVi recovering the situation. They win on the 3rd round full eco. That's so bizarre. But the orb is now in the hands of Simple. It's a force buy from Big here. AKs, Galil, and a couple of pistols.
Next out, smokes down everywhere. Given a massive free kick to NaVi, but they might take it back. Simple does slide out to find Tapson. Can't. Oh, I take that back. I was going to say can't hit Godby. Does catch it before he gets toward the E-box. Spray down from Electronic gives away his position, however, and Smooya is able to capitalize, but look at the HP, and now it's just Smooya with only 10. Can't find the spray onto Zeus. Another round. Good recovery from NaVi, considering the first 2 kills got carried away.
Edward with the whiff of the tournament there, that could have got a little bit out of hand. Luckily, Simple was there to pick up the pieces. He was flash, he just did recover, but he had a good 3 seconds to nail that first kill. It will be around $2,000 per player on the Big side as NaVi look to tie things up here. Blocks pretty much only, they've got a PT50 there now a Deagle. Around 20, and NaVi will be pretty aware they're up against the eco here. No one needs to push or commit to a solo frag. Just hold up, get that man advantage and fall back to hold a different line. Simple, that's what he's aiming for. Lands the shot but not the smoke. Still fine though, it's not ideal, but he'll hold them off.
Smooya, meanwhile, not much to say in it. He'll start to gather with his teammates. He's found by Simple actually through the wall. I think that came, it did. That was through eviction. Smooya's already saying nice shot. He put it through the wooden wall and caught him at the top of the stairs at Brown Halls.
That's pretty funny. Well, there you go.
You named it eviction. I thought you'd know what I meant.
I think that was you, but it's a nice name. It will be 5-on-4. And remember, no armor, no nades here. It's big, taking a long time with this one, but remember, you can use it as a timeout of sorts, and you can bleed out the utility of the CTs. It's quite frustrating to play against. You can get impatient because they're being so slow. And that's the idea.
Flamey, good spray. Gets 2, and then Simple arrives to take out Tapsin. We are knotted up at 10 on this map 3. The series tied as well, just in case you're joining us. 1-1. Big struck back on Dust 2. We haven't seen a chance for for Lagia to go as crazy. I know the admin's told him to tone it down a little bit, but even since then, there hasn't been too many rounds to really get excited about on their side.
There we have it, MP9 for Edward. This is their sort of bonus round now. As we get into round number 21, we're all tied up, 10-10. Who will be getting the 2-1 lead in the best of 5? This is NaVi's pick. It'll be a disaster to give it away. For now, holding up very slow as expected. No wall for Smooya. Just waiting for the initial utility to dissipate. Let's see what's available to them. Flashbang there towards the lower ramp. Zeus will be pushed off.
Zeus is currently pushed off, but goes all the way back in the B site. Electronic and Simple to play together. They'll not even bother holding on the spool. So a full change of scenery as Simple takes the op to a position of rotation at Z connector.
It's designed to give Tizian a silent drop down, but here we go, the commitment towards outside. It's Simple, Electronic going to town on Big here. It's now a 4 versus 2, God B. He's left with no grenades here and no manpower, and they'll be punished for it. 30 seconds, Simple. He's surely gonna get this one as well. What a shot that is! Takes down God B, and they'll take the lead, 11-10. Presumably that's money gone. We've got 4 save loss bonus for Big, but no bomb plants in the last 4 rounds.
Well recovered, cameraman. Simple, good read, good react. As we said, he backed the AWP off the B site. Didn't want to be in the equation when they started to use utility and push him out, render him useless. He goes back over the way, gets 1, and rotates back to find the 2 closing kills. He's starting to come alive. He hasn't had the impact you might have expected from him, certainly not that he's had throughout the course of this event. He's now at 23 kills, 3 above Electronic on his team, and Gobby, who's also on 20 on the other side after the fantastic start. Remember, I think he had, what was it, 11 kills on round 4?
Wow. Big. With not really much to do here. They can take a partial buy for sure, considering they get the maximum loss bonus into the next round. That's going to be $3,400 per player. They currently have about 2K. So they can afford some CZs, PD50s, maybe a couple of Deagles. Want to spice things up. They're not going to get armor though. Very conservative buy. That 1 smoke again suggests to me they'll smoke down that lower ramp and try and trade out a frag towards inside. Get that plant. And see if they can get some extra cash. Smooya hasn't really had the AWP in the second half so far. He did, I would say, best Simple on Dust 2, but Simple has recovered and looking much better here on Train.
Dink, but it's through the wall. Very, very minor damage. So 1 round lead for NaVi and pistols for Big. NaVi. Tricks does he have up his sleeve this time? He's got the only smoke left. Tizian trying to hold things together, well removed from the rest of his team out toward Ivy. He backs off that position, having already made contact without the success of a kill. utility again going to be the name of the play, but it's not going to be flashes this time. It's going to be one smoke toward B that they hope is enough. So far it is to rotate Simple, but he's realized it and gone back. Edwards already posted. They overrun him. They can get toward his AK, but not if Simple holds the angle with the AWP. I don't think he's realized that fast enough. So they get it up. It's in the hands of Tizian, who's tagged, lagged through the edge of the train, and Electronics easily able to put him down as a result. Gobby, however, has gotten them the money they require. So in the end, it does kind of work out.
Yeah, that's a full eco pretty much, and they didn't have armor or any nades, one smoke, and they get a plant and maybe 2 kills. Maybe. There it is. That's an expensive one to get. Simple goes down. They can recover the AWP, and there's no chance really Gobby can win the round. But this is making things kind of interesting. That's given his teammates an extra $800 per player. They've bled out another kill and some more utility there. So I said that's very successful eco coming in from Big. They're going to have money for days here. They definitely get the AWP out on Smooya. But he's had a quiet game by his standards. He's on 12 at 17 right now.
Problem is that now with 5 rounds in a row for NaVi, Zeus has 12,000, almost 13,000. Simple post buy has 9,600.
Indeed.
So 3 rounds at least to break them down, not to mention that in doing so, you're giving them the bonus building up. It's almost impossible at this point. It takes a while to wear that sort of economy out.
Did you say it was Inferno is the next map?
Inferno is the next map.
Oof, that's where you'd say NaVi have a firm advantage. They can steal away train. You'd be worried for Big in the next map, but they have shown themselves to have a decent Inferno as well. Here we go then, Simple picking towards the Brown Horse. Flashbang is decent, the shot narrowly misses out. He goes down to 51 HP, jumps safely to the spools there. Doesn't take any damage from that. So, nice idea, couldn't quite stick the landing. Initial kill does not go in his favor, actually takes most of the damage, and Smooya will remove Electronic from the equation as well. Nice play by him, that was right in there towards Ivy.
Flamey. Engulfed, forced out. One with fire, though, goes back to clear the same position and takes down Gobby, dropping in. He also had to wait for the flames to extinguish. He was hoping he could beat Flamey back to that position. Force him out, get down there just as he's re-peaking, but as we saw, Flamey kept the timer on that mentally as well. It actually went in before it was fully extinguished. He got the first tick time perfectly. Still, though, 4 versus 4. Zeus realizes they've gone out toward the back tracks. The smoke he can see above, he finds next. They still, though, can work this through CT and try and catch off Simple. Very tight angle on the AWP. They spotted him on the cross. He's aware of it. Has to change his position. Even though they got the information, he's still able to back off and find Tizian. Tabson, meanwhile, though, has gone in from above. He's going to be completely surrounded. In fact, he's not even going to get anywhere because Smooya is all that's left. He gets Simple, but they're going to chase him down. 5 seconds, bombs drop. No chance to win the round. It's all about saving the AWP and not losing any more money. He has to get away alive, and I was just saying, I think he will. Zeus just barely missed the shot.
Well, there we go. There is still plenty of cash, believe it or not, with that nice plant on the full eco before. They still have reasonable cash. Smooya doesn't get the extra, but he did save the AWP. So, not the woods just yet, NaVi. They are getting very close, though, towards that map point. 13 to 10. You would give him the favor here, considering on the CT side. Simple with some tremendous shots there. Definitely starting to get stuck in the grand final here. Tabson going towards those Brown Hordes, and they know Zeus plays in that alone. And whether we want to admit it or not, that's always going to be a weakness if he's completely alone. It's an area they'll be very interested to investigate towards. That's where they're going to go right now.
Time goes low. Good timing. Got beat down. Tabson does trade it off, though, so Zeus on the ground means chance for plant. Edward unfortunately finds Tabson, but again, that's traded, so it still works out okay. The problem is now it's Simple to get next. Bomb's not yet gone down, which becomes a problem. Smooya hesitant to go toward it is going to be found shortly. Man, oh my goodness. If Smooya hit that, that would have been abusive mechanics, would it not?
Yeah, that was actually kind of scary for Electronic. He saw Smooya scope up, jump off. It felt like he was going to connect, but not quite. Tizian now alone, and another 2 versus 1. A couple so far. Bomb not planted, of course. It's just by the bomb site. Simple and Electronic trying to get close as they can toward. Oh my god, that's such an awkward position for the bomb. How's he going to do this? Maybe if Electronic presents himself, but he does hit the shot. 2 kills are Simple, 2 for Electronic and Zeus with nothing. That's the problem. That's why Big are going towards that position. But Simple as the backup in towards the connector does save the day. And that's pretty massive considering that's now 7 rounds in a row for NaVi. No bomb going down in the last couple. You can see Smooya, we talked about his reactions here. Seems like a very emotional player. Can't let it affect him too much. Needs to keep his head in the game.
After winning pistol, getting shut down in round 3. Now 7 in a row for NaVi to not only have pulled this back into favor, but almost have it done as they have a chance for map point. Edward's going to take down next. He'll follow that up, find Smooya as well. And we haven't said far too often in this game, but yet still has 19 kills, does Edward. Flamey's been the quiet one, 8 only for him. NaVi is again able to find him, so it's not been the best map for him. They might still get away without his massive impact as they often need. Gopi gets Zeus, Simple finds Gopi. It is indeed map point for NaVi. Last-ditch effort to play for overtime from Big, and they're going to call a timeout immediately.
It makes sense. 1 round away from defeat here. They need 5 in a row to grind out overtime. I don't think that's going to happen here. They've only won 2 rounds of the T-side so far, Matt, and that was the pistol in the 2nd round follow-up. They lost to a full eco in the 3rd round, and since then haven't gotten their feet whatsoever. Not looking as potent on train as they did yesterday. Round 26, a decent scoreline for them. They've got deep into the game, but Simples look way too comfortable. He's posting numbers at 29 and 16. Electronic with 24. Gopi had an amazing start to the map. Remember, by round 7, he had, what, like 16 kills? As the half has gone on, he's found 5 kills in the 2nd half, so his impact has dropped off somewhat. Tabson's only had 2 kills this half, Matt, and we're really deep into it, so the star players like that not really having amazing amounts of impact is obviously going to be a problem. Money hasn't been fantastic for them. The unpause comes through, Smooya on the AWP.
Wow, Zeus again is the king of flashes. He's flashed over 19 in the 1st half, way above anyone else. He seems to be a touch ahead. Tizian's ahead of the play this time, though, pushing out on Ivy. They get the 1st kill. All important to keep this game alive, as Zeus is going to hold the corner as well. Gopi the challenge. In-game leader versus in-game leader, and one holding a grenade makes it a rather easy fight for Zeus. That pulls us back level at 4s as Tabson tries to trade it, but he's already long gone.
That's going to be so frustrating now. So they've lost the in-game leader, and you can see they were setting up for some sort of take there. They've now lost one of the players and a smoke. As Smooya will be boosted up, we saw this before. It's quite rare to see this position get a kill. As the nade comes in as well. Oh my goodness, that did so much damage. An absolute touchdown there. Tabson, my goodness, taking over 50. As we get into the final minute, this could be the round that finishes it all off and give NaVi the 2-1 lead in this best of 5.
Big in front of the home crowd. Done so well. Knocking out so many legends along the way, but NaVi, the final boss, and quite back the lead, as you say. We'll go to Inferno. It's Flamey to hold off toward quad. All important facet to the approach on the A site. Smooya, meanwhile, is gone. Hasn't had the money for the ops, so hasn't been able to get the opening kills with it. Next, top to E-Box is going to run directly by. Keep in mind, Flamey's just waiting. He can still swing out if they don't want to take over Hell, if they don't want to take the quad position. It's going to give him all the room in the world to work, and here he goes. 9 seconds, they're on the plant. They're going to get it down because he's watching toward H, but Flamey finds it, swings. They never even challenged him. They gave him far too much to work with, and he walks out from Sandwich, and my God, is it ever tasty. Just Smooya to find 1 versus 2, and he's gone already. NaVi, 2-1, will take the lead.
8-7.5, but as soon as they go into the CT forces, they absolutely run away with the game. Big tried everything they could, but couldn't break down that defense whatsoever. It was way too strong on the CT side, Matt. They tried to bully inside as much as they could, and they were convincing. They actually found kills on Zeus, but every time Simple would rotate in, he completely destroyed them. He gets 30 kills there, and that does set the tone for Inferno quite dramatically.
Dramatic indeed. There can be a lot of tactics brought to the fold when you're on a map like Inferno. We'll see if Gopi has anything up his sleeve, but it is NaVi. With the firepower on all cylinders, it's Simple again that was impressive. We'll take a break. We'll be back.